Testes 1 2. Testes 1 2. Testes. Yo, can you hear that shit now, Knuckle? Testicles 1 and 2. Alright, Roedster, it's like this. I watched that video you sent me. And it turns out I had already seen that with the animals and the buffalo and the lions attacking. That's some crazy shit, right? That shit happens every day in the Serengeti. Somewhere in Africa, that shit goes on every day. Great Rift Valley. You know, that's just another day. Somebody just happened to be there with a video camera. But I got a take on there that maybe you don't have. I don't know, maybe you thought of it too. But we see this in the perspective of the buffalo. We see the lions sneak up, and they attacks the buffalo, and we think, damn, that motherfucker. And then we see the bonding, the unity of these buffalo getting together and fighting off these motherfuckers. We're like, yeah, yeah, motherfucker. But what if we saw it from the perspective of the lions? And off in the grass, they have 3 cubs starving to death that they need to feed. What about their right to live? What about their unity? Who decides who wins? The buffalo has a right to live and protect their own. The lion has a right to live and eat and feed its own. And lion can't eat any grass. He has to kill to survive. So, if we were watching a nature show and it was on buffalo, and, you know, we saw that happen to the buffalo, we'd be like, yeah, we're rooting for the fucking buffalo. Those mean fucking lions attacking you motherfuckers, kill them. And I was rooting that way too. You know, stab him with the fucking horn. Stomp that motherfucker. If you're like me, you're like, what are you standing around for? Kill him. Because we took the side of the buffalo. We saw it from the buffalo's point of view. Now, had we been following a mother and its cub for 2 years with the camera, and we'd have an emotional investment with the lion. Now, we'd see them come up and attack some buffalo. We'd feel bad for the buffalo, yeah. Be like, God damn, that's a rough way to go, but we'd feel good that the mother fed her kid. That's what it's all about, survival. So, who do you root for? Well, it depends on if you're watching a buffalo show or a lion show. See, there is no good and there is no evil. It just depends on where you look at it. So, if you're looking at it from the buffalo side, the lions are evil. If you're looking at it from the lion side, the buffalo are evil. All they want is something to eat. They just want to take one buffalo. We don't want to kill every one of you. Just give us one, you know. Buffalo, like, fuck that. So, there's a standoff. Something's got to give. Buffalo wants to live. The lion wants to live. But guess what? Something's got to give. And that's where we have the struggle for survival. And there is no good and there is no evil. There just is survival. You just survive or you don't. So, anyway, let me go get some coffee. I got a couple more things I want to add to that. Yo! Let me take that back about the good and evil. When it comes to humans, there is some evil. Now, evil doesn't exist out there in the universe. It's just some evil floating by. Or good. There's not goodness in the universe. It just, oh, look, there's a cloud of goodness. There goes some evil. No. There are things that happen that we label as evil or good. So, if I fucking, you know, if I go in the street and kill someone, I didn't have to do that. There's no real reason for me to do that. That's just unnecessary. That's, the person would call it evil. But what is evil? The thing I did, or is there just evil that just exists? See, I don't think there is good and evil. There are evil deeds, evil people, evil acts, evil things to say, but there isn't some ultimate good, some ultimate evil. So, I've shown you how in the animal kingdom, there could be good and evil in the very same killing of an animal. There's evil when that buffalo dies, if it died, in the viewpoint of the buffalo, and there's good in the viewpoint of the lion. But it's the same thing. The lion killed the buffalo. Which, by the way, I don't know how good their unity was, because they let that fucking lion sit there and snack on his ass for like fucking 10 minutes. I'm sure that motherfucker did not live. Yeah, he got up for the camera and the tourists, and he went off and back into the woods and shit, but you know what? That motherfucker died probably an hour later. So anyway, the video first started off talking about this universal thing, and I thought he was going to go somewhere about carbon or energy. And that is true. In us, in the universe, there is energy. There's no good and evil, but there is an energy. And that's what we're made of. We're made of matter. Matter is energy. Einstein figured that out. I don't really understand it, but it's true. E equals mc squared. We could take two tiny little atoms, and when you split them, the energy that comes out is enough to blow up a city. That's one atom, two atoms. Can you imagine the energy contained in each individual? You know how many atoms are in one cell? Fucking countless. You know how many cells are in your body? Fucking countless. So the amount of energy in each of us, and everything that you see, anything that has matter, is energy also. And it can go back from matter to energy to matter to energy. So we're just a temporary assemblage of matter that's been in the universe forever. We are eternal already. We don't have to die to become eternal. So I do have a beautiful view of the universe and the way I fit in it. Yeah, I'm gonna die and my brain won't be around and my thoughts and my memories won't be around. But me, you ain't never getting rid of me because I'm part of the universe. You can't. You just fucking can't get rid of energy. You can take matter even when you burn a log. Okay, you burn a log and you say, well, it's gone. Well, no, it's not. The smoke went off, particles disappeared, it changed into a different form. Now you have ash, the heat came off as energy, the particles of dust came off as smoke, and it just went back into a different form that it was before. See, how did that log become a log? Well, sunlight shot down on a tree, the tree absorbed the sunlight, and it shot out it locked in some carbon from the sun. And the tree stored this energy from the sun during its whole lifetime. And when you take that log and you burn it, you're re-releasing the sun's energy that it stored the whole lifetime. So think about how deep that is. When you burn a log, you're releasing stored sun. Okay, so there's a poetic viewpoint of the universe that I live forever no matter what you do to me. You can blow me up with a nuclear bomb, and all my pieces go somewhere. They don't disappear. They're just transformed into different things. So that's where I thought he was going with the video. But let me just put this to you like this. Back to the killing and you know, who's good and who's evil. Just keep in mind that not only are we comprised of energy, but we require energy to live every day. Where do we get this energy? Well, we have to steal it from other living things. Now think about that for a minute. Even if you're a vegetarian, you're a broccoli murderer. You're a cabbage killer. Think about it. The only place we can get energy is from other living things. Where do they get it? The sun, the elements, the earth, the air. It's all just changing and transforming into a plant, into an animal. And momentarily, it comes together to be me or you. Now, the energy that's in me, if you fucking lop my arm off, put some barbecue sauce on that bitch and throw it in the grill, we could eat it and live for a couple days off of it. That's pretty fucking creepy, I'll give you that. But if we want to live another day, we have to steal energy from another animal that has nothing to do with us, or plants. So, while we aren't as mean as the lion and go sneaking up on motherfuckers and killing them and ripping their fucking throats out and tearing at their asshole, we go to a shopping mart and we pull something off a shelf. Well, somebody had to kill that motherfucker. Just because it wasn't you doesn't erase the fact that we have to steal energy from living creatures. So, how good are we? That's what life is. It's theft. It's a theft of energy from other living things. No matter what living thing you think of, it's stealing energy from somewhere. Now, if you're a plant, you steal energy from the sun. You steal energy from the elements. But if you're us, we have to steal energy from other living things. So we are killers just to live. So, in some respect, we're no better than the lions. Yeah, we're civilized, quote unquote. We make laws and we call it morality and we legislate it. And you know, we get out of control from time to time, but we consider ourselves so much better. So much above nature. But we are right in the mix. We cannot remove ourselves from nature, ever. No matter what we do. We will always be subject to the rules and regulations of the universe. And that's just the way it is, man. So yes, we are energy, and it's a beautiful way to look at the universe, in my opinion. Now, if you take the other thing where there's a God who set this plan up, who knew that I had to steal energy from other creatures just to live, that's a pretty devious motherfucker. I can't believe in him. I'm sorry if I've offended you if you believe in him. I don't know exactly what your views are, but I think you have a spiritual view from just my discussions with you. I don't think you necessarily believe in a God, but you're in a search. I think you're in a search for something ultimate, which we all do. You're looking for something at the root. What is at the root, man? What the fuck is behind all this? Well, would it creep you out if I said maybe there is nothing? Maybe there was no beginning? Would that bother you? Why are we so fixed up on a beginning or a starting place? Well, because we started. Everything we see starts and finishes. So we figure the universe must have started too. Well, if I go back in time to yesterday, there was a day before that. If I go back 1,000,000 years ago, there was a day before that. If I go back 1,000,000,000,000 years ago, was there a time before that? I think so. And I think you can go back and back and back and back as far as you want. And at any given point, there will always have been a time before that. So to me, there was no beginning. Now, I know that makes no fucking sense and we can't understand it. I don't claim to understand it. But think of the alternative. The alternative is there was a beginning. Now, neither science nor religion can explain that for me, because if God did it, then you're left explaining what God was and where he came from and how he got to be. If you're saying the Big Bang did it, then you have to explain where the singularity came from. Why was it sitting there for so long before it expanded? What was it doing? Both scientists and religion require there to have been something there before the start, what they say is the start. So they say God created the universe, but God never started. And the Big Bang theorists say, well, the Big Bang started the universe, but the Big Bang, we don't know about that. It was just sitting there. It was just sitting there floating around in the middle of nowhere, you know, just waiting to expand. Right, okay, that makes sense. You know, neither science nor religion have any answers for me. So, in my mind, there is no good or evil. We are just energy. We must steal energy to live. And the universe had no beginning, and it can never have an end. It's just ever changing. energy being changed from matter back to energy, back to again and again, over a course of time that is incalculable by definition. See, we never have any difficulty in thinking that time will never end. That's not hard to wrap our minds around. It's easy to picture a time after this and a time after that. But when we go backwards, we say, wait a minute, no, there had to be a beginning. I think that's faulty human logic. Because what if there was no beginning? And what if, now see, it makes no sense to say that God had no beginning, because here you have something that knows stuff. It claims to know everything. But a God that has always been there can never even know where it came from, because it never came about. So God's own existence necessarily has to be a mystery, even unto him. Because he never started, because he was always there, because he never had a starting point, God can never even explain to you the reason he's there, why he exists. Because he had no part in his own existence. He didn't bring himself into being, he just was always there. Now that's hard to understand, something that understands and thinks and plots, a God that's omniscient. That doesn't make any fucking sense. But if you talk about just energy and just particles, things that don't know they're there, things that don't have any idea of existence, they just are. I can picture a universe of swirling energy on back infinitely in time. And furthermore, I think the universe is infinite in size as well. Now what does that mean? I don't know. It means that you could go in any direction you want and never reach an end. So automatically our human minds kick in again and we say, well, wait a minute, there's got to be an edge, right? Why? Why does there have to be an edge? Because our world has an edge? Because everything we know has edges? Not the universe. The universe don't care what our preconceptions are. See, the universe has no edge because the universe is everything that is. It makes no sense to say what's outside the universe, because the universe is all that is and always was that. So, chew on that for a while. Alright, I think I blew your mind enough for one night. Alright, man. Keep an open mind, ask questions, and have fun. Nice talking to you.